What's up everybody, Pete with Auto Repair Tips. I got a 14 Ford Fusion with a 2.0 and the customer's complaint, the AC's not blowing cold at all. And he said at home he purged it himself and then refilled it. I don't recommend doing that. That's something you just shouldn't do. Purge your own system with your finger or a screwdriver. Like he said, he let Freon out, then he put some in. That's just not how you fix an AC system. You could actually cause more damage by doing that. Matter of fact, after he did that, he got a message in it that said AC system failure. So he brought it to me to look at, and in this video we're going to see can we fix it. Let's get into it. So before I get into the repairs on this video on how to check your AC system, you know, I was going through YouTube like everybody, just looking at different videos. I like looking at car stuff. I came across this channel, and it's a pretty big channel. It's a pretty big company, and they were fixing the AC system. The car had been in an accident. They couldn't get the AC working correctly. Brought it to them to look at, and let me tell you what they did. First off, I'm not going to call the shop out. I'm not going to call what kind of car it is. I'll give you a scenario, and if you happen to fall in this scenario, this is what you don't do. So the body shop told the company, this mechanic shop, that they can only get the car inside, it was, I don't know, in the high 85, I think it was, the inside temp. So the guy gets in there and he puts his meter on top, he puts his meter in the car, and he's looking at it and he's going, oh wow, yeah, 85. So he went and did a bunch of checks. He got another tool out and he says, what's the temperature blowing on this side and what's temperature blowing on that side? But all before he even put a machine on it. And he didn't even check the temperature coming out of the vents, but he went to all these gadgets and did all that stuff. So when he was done, he said, okay, watch, I believe he pulled a vacuum, checked it for leak, filled it up correctly, got inside, went back and did all this testing, and he said the outside temperature was 100 degrees or 102 degrees, and the inside temperature was just at 79 degrees, I think it was. And he said that's the best it's gonna get. Still, he never took a thermometer and read what was coming out of the vents. Now, I'm not sure why he went about it this way, but one of the first things you should always do is you do a visual, okay? Well, back up. If you told me on a hot day, my car is only gonna blow 80 degrees, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna be pissed off. Secondly, I can tell you right now that the standard for most cars, the vent should be about 42 degrees. 43 at the worst, 42 is good, anything less is better. And if you're going on a 20-minute ride and your car is blowing out the vents 42 degrees and you have it on recycle, so you take the hot air out and come in with the cold air, you're gonna drop. You're gonna be in the low, middle to high 60s. Easy. But that didn't happen in this case. I felt like for some oddball reason he just left off a bunch of, I'm not sure why he left it off, to be honest. I just feel like he left things off he should have told y'all. So if you got one like this, do a visual, look at it. If your clutch can spin and your car's off, put your hand on the clutch, make sure it spins, look at the belt, start it up, take a reading on the inside, see what's coming out of the vents. If it's hot coming out of the vents and your AC's not working here, put your machine on it, or gauges if you have a gauge. Take a second and look and see, okay, oh, that's another thing. Looking at his gauges when he hooked them up and it was pumping, you should be 28, 29, 30, 31, worst case scenario. And on a hot day, you know, your temp's gonna be 245 to 270, you know, a good range for it, and you should have dripping on the ground. He never checked for dripping on the ground either. But his was only pumping like 38 to 40, and the high side was only like at 220 I think it was. So that right there tells you that compressor's not pumping. I mean, it definitely wasn't pumping. If he's got enough Freon in it, it should be down lower and that gauge should be higher. But when you're 30 here and you're at 200 here, or you're at 40 here and 200 here, your pump's not pumping. End of story. So I'm not 100% sure why he went through all that. Maybe he was trying to, you know, sell some tools because everything had a link below. So maybe he was trying to sell some tools. I don't fault him for that, but he did give out some bad information. If you hook your gauges to it and your machine to it, it should be 30, you know, like I said, 30 here, 29, 31 worst up here, or as close to that as possible. High side on a hot day should be somewhere between 245 to 270. All right, so after I vented and got all off my chest, let's go ahead and get the gauges on this. Let's see what this is reading. All right, first thing I'm gonna do is after I get the gauges hooked up, let's look at some pressures and let's see what's in the car. I'm gonna start it and let's see if the pump is pumping a little bit, and we'll go from there. So I got the machine hooked up, and you can look to see that this pressure is about 60 on the low side. High side is a little over 50. Sorry for all the wind noise in here today, but legitly at heat index today is around 105, they said. All right, let's cut this on. Come on. All right, let me start it up and let's see if these needles move at all. I guess it would help if I grabbed the key, huh? Car's not gonna start without them. All right, we got it on. We got the AC on max, and I'll put the fan on just a medium high. Got the recycle on AC, we're on max. Fan is on a medium speed. Let's see what we're doing here. So, nothing's happening at all. So when I see something like this, I'm gonna go to the compressor now. I'll look down inside there, and we're gonna see if that clutch is spinning. So I'm not sure if y'all can see that or not, but I guess we don't need to look any further. If you look right down inside here, get a screwdriver and I'll tap on it. That's your AC compressor, and that is the part of the clutch that fell apart. You see there's two wires coming out of it right there. Anyway, the AC compressor has come apart. I'm gonna see, can I reach underneath there real quick and grab it? So that little washer right there was actually stuck to the outside of the clutch assembly. All right, so after talking to the customer, I got a little more information on it. And it's a good possibility that this compressor came apart on the inside also before the actual clutch went out. We don't really build clutches anymore. I don't do it here. It's a gamble half the time you do it. So we decided not to do that anymore around here. But like I said, after talking to him, it's a good possibility the inside came apart. This car's got an expansion valve, an AC compressor, and a receiver driver that's built onto the condenser. We're gonna do all three items and flush the system. I believe you can replace the sock just in the receiver dryer on this, but by the time I take that condenser out, lay it down, I've already got it out, and I've done it before. The sock, the aftermarket ones, even the new ones, they just don't fit 100%. You're better off, and you just got to trust me on this, you're better off just getting a condenser. You can get an aftermarket one at a good price, so it's well worth doing that rather than taking your condenser apart. All right, that being said, let me get some parts ordered here and let's get to work. All right, the first thing I'm gonna do, and there's a couple ways you can approach this, but I'm gonna start up top because the car's already on the ground. I'm gonna get rid of this sight shield right here. Look down inside here at the condenser. And there's a handful of these push clips to hold it in. Just get your little clip puller tool, like how I said that, a clip puller tool. Just got back from vacation. This is actually one of the first jobs I'm doing. And we went to the Outer Banks this year. And my grandson went with me for the second time, but last year he was really scared of everything. This year he was a little bit better. And my daughter hands him to me. She says, don't drown my kid, or lose my kid. Sure enough, as soon as she said that, a wave came in. I went under, had him in my hands. I said, oh my God. She's screaming. What a way to start the vacation. And he went running. I know one thing, you go on vacation, it ends way too fast. Oh my God. When I get back, I had a million state inspections to do. It seemed like everybody and their brother needed a sticker. Well, that looks like it was a waste of time. But I'm pretty sure I need to get it off because right behind that is, let's see what's going on here. There's a condenser right there. So I need to get this out of the way too, it looks like. Let's see. These just twist off. Be careful, they're plastic. They will break. I have broken them too many times. Well, it looks like I need to get this out of the way now, don't I? Let's see here. Man, I don't want to have to take this front bumper off. Please don't let me take the front bumper off. Freaking shutter grill and every damn thing else in there. And there it is down inside there. All right. Looks like I gotta take this front fascia off. We will get that off and then we'll continue on. I think the worst part of this job is getting the condenser out, if you think about it, because there's your compressor right there. You would think they would have made it just a little bit easier, you know? But it's not too bad, I guess, if you think about it. What else would I be doing today? I was already missing stuff here. Somebody been in this already. I've had to put a motor in one of these before, and it was easier just to take the whole front end off. Bring the engine straight out. You believe that? I don't think there's that many bolts holding on the freaking front clip. Ooh, look at all that rust down there. And one more. And we got an oil leak too. A couple more of these twisty clips in here. Come on. They're a pain in the booty. Boop. Probably a screw, bolt, nut, something, I'm sure. The bolt that holds the fender to the bumper is a lucky number 8 millimeter. Just kind of bend this back out of the way. Usually there's just one. Let me get my other flashlight because I have no idea what I did with that one. Bingo. And then this will just come off like that. Oh, see, that'll just come off like that. All right, let's get the other side and the bumper will come off. So really, you hear me sometimes hooting and hollering and things like that, but it's not too bad taking this bumper off. It's definitely doable at home. If I had to put a skill level on this whole job here, probably be somewhere about maybe a 3, 3.5. Only reason why I'm saying that is because, I mean, you got to jack the car up a little bit to lay underneath it to get some of the stuff off. If you didn't have to jack the car up, it'd be a 2. Now when you take this off, we got to be a little bit careful because there's a harness plugged into it right here. Let me show y'all. So looking at it, once you get the bumper to this point here, there's 2 harnesses. One's right here and one is right here. They just snap off and the bumper comes right off and lays on the ground. And then we need to get the shutter grill, which is the stupid thing to have on a car. But anyway, we need to get the shutter grill off and then we'll get all this out and get the condenser out. All right, so I'm a liar. There's 2 more clips on the passenger side. One goes to, it looks like to the shutter grill motor, and the other one goes right up in here to like a temperature sensor. All right, so at about this point here, you want to get a hood prop because you got to lower your hood prop down. So get yourself a prop to hold the hood up and be careful because that one's not working very well. It's probably going to bang my ass in the head. And we'll find out what else is holding this bitch on. All right, so they hid 2 tins up in here. Right here. I'm on. Now it's got us, good Lord. There's 2 push clips inside here. So by taking off hood latch, I can just take this push clip and just push it in by hand. Hello?
Are you at the shop?
Yeah, well, what's up?
Oh, no, I was just going to ride by once this train goes by because we're in Addie's car and she's got a light on.
What does it say?
I don't know, it looks like the oil light.
Okay, yeah, just pull up at the front door. There's no one there, or there's no one there.
If the train never passes, if it don't, I'm going to take it home.
I mean, you'll be all right. What does it look like? An oil filter? Oil? What?
It has an exclamation point inside of brackets.
Oh, that's probably a tire monitor light. But we'll look at it when you get here.
All right. I'll let you know this train's just sitting here. So
Yeah, a lot of times that's a tire light, like tire sensors, let you know if your tire's flat or not. Half the world doesn't work because they're pieces of shit. We never fix them anymore. Matter of fact, you don't even got to have them for state inspection, but that's what it sounds like to me. But you're all right. I'm here. I'm out in the shop.
All right. I'll let you know. If we have to sit here too long, I'm just going to turn around.
You should be okay. It shouldn't be too long. Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
I've been recording it the whole time, ain't I? Right inside here, there's a back side to this. And it hooked in right there. And now that's out. But that's your flap right there. Oops, my bad. That's on me. This is ridiculous. I think a Lexus BMW has got less bullshit. That's all right. It's hot and I ain't got no patience right now. That's my problem. My camera angles stink today, but here's the other one right here. It's easier to push it in than it is to take it out. Hell yeah. 20 minutes later, your shutter grill. And we still haven't got to the condenser. It is right here, and we just need to get this out of our way. This has got to get out of our way. All right, I went ahead and took the headlights out. It was one more bolt yanking them out. Looking at this here, there's a lower intercooler down here. This thing must have, I guess, turbo on it. Here's your condenser right here. I still need to get this out of the way. And it looks like they had 2 rivets that popped through the reinforcement right here. So we'll probably have to knock these rivets off, what it's looking like. We get the rivets out of the way. This will probably move. And there's one bolt right here. And the same on the other side, and it's through the back. But that's what it looks like. Why the freak would you rivet that? Oh my God, what an idiot. I mean, that makes no sense. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It looks like this rivet has to come off. Why the heck would you rivet that? And everything else be bolts? I mean, what a joke, right? Everything else is loose and ready to come off. Once it comes off, I'm just gonna lay it to the side. But that's where we're at. There's a bolt here. This is what I was talking about. There's a bolt right there and a bolt right there and 2 rivets, one there and one there. And I believe this will come off the rest of the way and just lay on the side there. But that's where we're at right now. I think at this moment though, I'm gonna stop, go get me something to eat and something to drink. Catch you in a bit. This has got to be the dumbest fucking design I've ever seen. Build one like this. Seriously, just to get a condenser out. All these nuts and bolts, right? But yet, for safety reasons, they riveted here. All right, one of the last things I should be able to do is get the rivet off. This is the biggest wasted piece of material I've ever seen. There's no need for a rivet here. I mean, I can go back at a rivet if I had to. It's just easy, but it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, we're almost there. So not only they put chrome color rivets here, they put black ones here so you can't fucking see them. Fucking joke. They got chrome rivets here and it still wouldn't come off because they put black rivets here so you don't see them. It's like, oh my God, get the fuck out of here. Unreal. It's like they want you to look for it, you know? It's like, you can't find it. You can't find it. Well, guess what? I found it. And behold, behold, we have a condenser. Boom, chaga laga laga. Well, we're moving right along now. Again, you hear me yipping and yapping, but I'm just talking shit. It's really not that bad. It's the weather that gets you. It is definitely something anybody can do. Anybody can do. And like I was talking, see that right there? Let's get this up in here. Let's get up in here. You can buy a sock for this, but I went through all that. And if I'm gonna unscrew this and put a sock in there and put it back in here and it doesn't seat right, or it decides that for some odd reason, 100 miles an hour, something goes wrong here, dude, that's a pain in the ass to get to. So I think I checked the price on it. It was only like about $65 more to get the whole condenser, and that comes with a lifetime warranty. If I do that myself, I gotta warranty it. But if I go with a new condenser, they pay me the labor to reinstall it if it goes bad. So that's a no-brainer. So damn, I was over here working on a car. I heard something fall. My damn phone fell, smashed everywhere. I hate getting new phones. Nothing worse than having to reset half the crap up all over again. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So when I get this compressor out, we're gonna go up and get us a phone. I'm gonna take these two out right here. I got a better view. You guys get a better view, supposedly, if I don't screw this up. But you know what? You just never know. You just never know. Y'all needed to clean just then. Had to clean you off. Cause y'all nasty. All right. So if you look right here, it's got a stretch belt on it. It's already fraying apart anyway. So I'm gonna cut it off. We'll go back with new. And when I put them back, normally I can get zip ties to work fairly simple. Hopefully it'll be the same way with no issues. Looks like there's just 3 bolts holding it on. So what I'm gonna try to do is, rather than have to reach through all that crap right here, I'm gonna try to just see can I unbolt it and lower it down a little bit. I mean, it wants me to take these hoses off here. I don't want to take the hoses off. Once we take out the intercooler, go all up in here. But I guess, I mean, think about it. The intercooler goes here, the radiator goes right above it, all the way down to the bottom. I don't know, we'll see. I don't see a benefit, to be honest with you. I'm gonna try it the other way first. So right or wrong, I'm taking this lower support off because I think it's gonna be easier to get to that bolt right up inside here. Yeah, full of crap. You got a little 2x4?
2x4?
Yay big. Man, they want you to take everything apart on this. I think my skill level just jumped up to about a 5. Too much shit to take apart. Too much crap to take apart. I went ahead and there's a stud there you can take out, and that kind of drops it off. So now you're looking at it like this, more or less. Push the tab in, let's unplug the plug. This is like one of them jobs, every bolt or nut takes a different socket or wrench. Damn. This thing looks bent. This stud literally looks bent. Now when I get all this crap apart, that's when we'll flush it out. That nut kicked my ass. One AC compressor. All right, so check this out. This is the new compressor. This is the new expansion valve. The receiver drive will be here tomorrow, but I want to show you something. Look at the front of this compressor. And look at the expansion valve. Look at the rust. Look at the rust on the seals. A lot of people do AC jobs and they don't replace these. And I mean, I think you're just asking for trouble if you don't do a job 100%. All right, let's go ahead and let me get these parts on the car. You don't need to watch me do that. It's just reverse procedure. Me and Carl just got finished putting the stretch belt on, the AC compressor, the condenser, and I've got the expansion valve, the new one in place. We're getting ready, before I put this monstrosity back together, I'm gonna hook up the AC system. We're gonna just pull it, a 40-minute vacuum on it. On something like this, that's gonna be the bare minimum. And that's Carl right there who was helping me out. Hi. And we're gonna hook it up with a 40-minute vacuum, and I'm gonna do a 10-minute hold for a leak test. If there are no leaks, I mean, truthfully speaking, with it sitting like this, I can probably start it up and see if it even blows, how cold it's gonna blow. But I do have to put oil in the system. The machine isn't working 100% correctly, so after we get it vacuumed down, I can put oil in it manually with a hand pump I got. So we'll get all that done. We're gonna hit no on this. There are no checkers. What are we doing there? A vacuum time, go up to 40. That's close, whatever, it don't matter. That's good. Hit okay. Leak test, yes, that is it. A good indication if your system is working correctly or doesn't have a leak, look how fast this gauge goes down. If it goes down there pretty fast to like almost zero, you know you're good. You know you're not good if it lingers up here around the, I don't know, around the 10 mark or right along here, but that went down pretty daggone far. So I think I'm pretty confident there's no leaks. I mean, Carl helped me out. He's like A1, best mechanic I've ever had with me.
I'll take it.
You take it. But anyway, we'll come back in about 40 minutes and actually 50 minutes when the leak is done, test is done, and we'll see how it does. All right, catch you in a bit. All right, so with a little bit of luck, I got the oil injection function to work on this thing. You just push it like that, and it takes 4.9 ounces, and I've already put 4 in there, and I'm doing the 0.9 now. And it sucks it out of the bottle down here. When you're all done, and we are done. All right, let me go ahead and let's get some Freon in this thing, and let me start her up. I believe I can start it up and see what it does. All right, this thing takes 0.55 kilograms, so we're gonna go down to 55. I usually go like 2 over. All right, we're gonna hit okay. Remember when you're charging? No, you can't do that. Can't charge from the high side. Let's exit this out. Let's exit all the way out. Go up here to charge. Remember when you're charging a vehicle, if it's not running, you can stick it in through the high and low side. If the vehicle's running, you have to put it in through just the low side. All right, we're gonna hit okay. See, I have the option, high, low, or both. Vehicle is off, so we're gonna go to both. Hit next, start, yes, let's do it. And then on the 10-minute hold, it was dead on, it didn't move any, so we're good on that. And just remember, you're trying to keep it around as close to 30 as possible on a hot day like today. 245 to 260 is kind of our goal. You start getting too low here, there's not enough. Too high, pumping. All right, it's done. Let me start this thing up. So it's not moving at all, and I didn't even think about it till just now. It probably blew a fuse when that clutch assembly blew. So let me go check out that fuse, and then we'll get it, try it again. All right, let's see what we got going on here. As soon as the fans kick on, that's down to about 240. That's way too high. So I need to take a little bit of Freon out. Let's let it settle in and see what happens. Oh, and the reason why the compressor didn't come on the first time, it wasn't a blown fuse. I got called away and I didn't get a chance, I forgot to plug the compressor up. So that one's on me, right? Yeah, that number I don't like at all. I want that down lower. Sometimes if it's that high, you may have too much Freon in the car. Let me let it run a few minutes before I make any adjustments, because it shouldn't be going up and down. It should be leveled off. You know, one thing I didn't think about, and this might be some of the issue, the shutter grill on there plays a big factor with these fans. It controls the amount of air flow through the system. So, because it's wanting to come down to 30, then it's not. I got a feeling that shutter grill needs to be hooked up. That's what the problem is. Let's see how cold it's blowing inside. I'll probably go ahead and finish building it back up. We know we don't have any leaks, and I know its systems work, but we need to fix the way that's bouncing around. I'm happy with that, 245 and on. See, let me show you what I'm talking about. Without the shutter grill on there, this is just open, so the air is not funneling directly into this, and that will cause it to go up and down a little bit like that. Your fans are pulling, but it's pulling air from everywhere. For shits and giggles, let's see how cold it's blowing. So this is what I'm talking about. I am sitting in this car. I don't even have the fan shrouds hooked up correctly, so I don't have the proper air flowing through the condenser, which definitely causes an issue. And my thermal imager here, let's see here, let's go right up here. Around the dash area, you can see how blue it is. So that's in the 60s, and that's just reading the temperature of the object. It's not reading the air coming out of the cooling system, if that makes any sense. So the object is in the low 60s. So if you look right here, see how it's stable? This is sitting about 220, 230. This is sitting right here about 31. What it did was, after it ran, it started stabilizing a little bit, and I had to take out about 2 kilograms of refrigerant. Once I did that, everything leveled off, literally right at the dash right here. So the dashboard's reading about 62 degrees. Up in the, it's about 63 on the headliner. Let's see what it is coming out of the dash. 48. 47. Like to see about at least 42, 43. There's 43. All right, so we're sitting. Get back in there. So right about 42 degrees. All right, so it's blowing ice cold. A little while ago I showed you where I had kind of made a mistake. I think I put too much Freon in it. I think that 0.2 kilograms made a big difference. Once I got that out, the gauge is leveled off and everything calmed down. It just started blowing cold. Once I got the bumper on there and funneling the air through like it's supposed to be, made a world of difference inside the car. But on a day like today, I don't care. I don't care what you say. You should be able to get the inside of your car middle to high 60s, 69, 70 at the worst, 68 is a good one, 67 with 100 degrees outside. There should be no problem doing that. Again, I don't know how people do it without measuring how cold the air is coming out of the vents. All right, that's it for this video. I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Catch you later.